Before you list another item or hit another thrift store, you need to know which brands are blowing up in 2026. Stick around and you'll find out which clothing brands are driving the biggest resale profits right now. Well, welcome to the channel. I am so glad that you're here. My name is LeeMeier, and I help people just like you turn reselling into a sustainable and profitable business, one that fits around your busy life. Now, I've been tracking brand data, trends, and sold listings for years, and that is why I am so excited about today's topic. We're going to be diving into the top 20 clothing bolos for 2026. And they're not just my opinion. This list is pulled straight from resale market data and trending searches across multiple platforms. While I'll be covering 20 brands here, you'll also want to make sure to check out my free best brands list. This is a list of over 150 brands that has led me to making well over $100,000 net profit. You'll find that list below this video in the description. All right, so if you're wondering some of the top brands to look for in 2026, I've got you covered. Let's go ahead and jump on in. We're doing this countdown style, starting at number 20, and this is the shoe brand On. This has to be one of the fastest growing brands, especially in the resale market. And these items hold their resale value really well. It's not uncommon to get $40 or $50 for these shoes, even in used condition. And many of them are selling for prices even higher than that, depending on the style, the size, and how much they've been worn. If you've not seen their logo before, this is what it looks like. Very kind of abstract. This is a women's pair of shoes, and this was sold full asking price for $59. Even if you have to pay up and say shell out $10, these can still make a really good flip. Number 19, Bowden. You'll definitely want to tend towards their women's items versus their kids' items, which often only sell for a few dollars. With women's items, there's a much bigger chance that those will be a good return on your investment. Now, the one exception with kids' items are for higher value items like coats, like what you're seeing here. I just looked this up and it did sell on best offer for $30 after that offer. If you're wondering how to do that, I do have a video that walks you through. I will link to that up here. Some of their better selling items are going to be their newer styles, as well as premium materials like merino and cashmere. This is an example of a dress with a style that is really trending. Anything denim, by the way, is hot right now, and especially when you can incorporate denim into something like a dress. And these tiers are also very popular. This dress went for $40 after a best offer. Number 18, Mother Jeans. Much like with Bowden, you're going to want to go after the more recent styles within the last 2 to 3 years. The hustler style is doing really well right now. Anything with a little bit of a flair is doing well right now. Skinny jeans have long since been a thing of the past, at least until a few more years go by and they're vintage. This is a style called the Berkey heel, and it went for $68 after a best offer. The roller is another really popular style. Super wide leg. There's the brand label, and one of the things that I love about this brand is they just straight out say what the style name is. No guessing required. You're gonna find that on the inside of the jean, usually on the front pocket. This had 63 bids on it and went for $91. Number 17, Farm Rio. This brand is known for their colorful look. It's almost as if it's straight out of Brazil. You're gonna see a lot of floral patterns, a lot of tropical vibes, even things like fruit. Check out those lemon shorts. Some of their top sellers are dresses as well as sweaters. Such a cool design with this one. There's the tag. By the way, not all of these are for Anthropologie, but they all do equally as well. This is an extra small. It sold on best offer for $75. Here's an example of a sweater. This is a cardigan sweater. So with this tag, you're just seeing farm. It is not for Anthropologie. And this was sold full asking price for $79. Number 16, this one may surprise you, and this is Abercrombie and Fitch. But there are so many interesting items here that are selling really well. You'll want to look for two things, either newer items or vintage items. And by vintage items, I'm referring to the Y2K era and older. As much as it bites, Y2K was over 20 years ago, making it vintage. Some of their more popular vintage items include things like hoodies, coats, jackets, mini skirts, even things like what you're seeing here. This is what is called a parachute pant, characterized by cargo pockets as well as cinched ankles. These sold for $90 on best offer. Number 15, Aviator Nation. This is a brand that is entirely based around comfort. You're gonna see sweatpants, hoodies, t-shirts, anything that has a laid-back California vibe. You're also gonna see a lot of rainbow stripes, even bolt patterns with this brand. This is a jacket with some Sherpa trimmed collar, and you're seeing that rainbow stripe there across the front that is really indicative of this brand. There's the tag. This one sold full asking price, $350. Number 14, Doc Martens. This is a brand that has been popular for a long time now, and it is still trending. It's not going away anytime soon. Their items definitely have a timeless look, and you can see that in the prices that these are selling for. This one actually went on auction and had 3 bids on it for that $95 price point. And some of their items can even sell for more depending on the style, the age, the rarity of the item. This is a more unusual pair, and it sold for $120 on best offer. But depending on the style and the rarity, these types of items can go for as much as $150 to $200. Number 13, Anthropologie. Now, Anthropologie is really an umbrella that has a lot of different brands under it. For example, Pilcrow, Maeve, and so many more, hundreds of brands. And you do not have to keep track of all of those brands. I'll show you how here in a second, but this is a pair of pants from Maeve. Now, these do happen to say by Anthropologie. Not all of them are going to say that. So you want to double check with this RN number. It should say 66170. If you're seeing that for the RN number, it means that item was made for Anthropologie. This pair of pants went for $55 after a best offer, but that's one of the more common mistakes that I see is calling something an Anthropologie item even when it's not. So be really careful there. Make sure that you check that RN number. Number 12, Skims. This is a shapewear and loungewear brand founded by Kim Kardashian. They're known for their inclusive sizing as well as their body contouring fits. This is a simple bikini top with studded trim. Let me zoom in on those studs, and then there's a little bit of the tag for you. Now, something that this seller did that was really smart was to go ahead and use the Barbie keyword in their title. Because it is pink and looks like something that Barbie might wear, they made use of that trending keyword. If you'd like to learn more about aesthetic keywords like this, I do have a video that I will link to up here. And if you would love to be able to have these types of keywords at your fingertips as you're listing and to not have to try to remember them all on the spot, my keyword posters can make it quick and simple to have those keywords at your fingertips and to be able to type up listings in a matter of seconds. That resource will be linked somewhere on your screen as well as in the description below the video. This is a basic long sleeve top from the same brand, a better look at that label there. And this went $39 full asking price. Number 11, Birkenstock. This is a brand much like Doc Martens that has been popular for decades now and continues to sell really well. It's not uncommon for items in used condition to sell for over that $50 price point, especially if they're a newer style with less wear. Now, you might typically think of sandals when you think of Birkenstocks. Those two are kind of synonyms, at least in my mind. But don't overlook their other non-sandal items. This men's pair of slip-ons went for $80 on best offer. Coming in at number 10, Aloe Yoga. Now, this is far more than just a basic women's clothing brand. They also have men's items. Did you know that? This is a men's jacket. That one's sold on best offer for $50. But they also have other types of clothing items like shoes. Check that out. That is a pair of men's shoes that had 40 bids on it and went for $102. This is a men's quarter zip jacket. You're gonna see aloe there on the sleeve, and this sold for the full asking price of $65. Number 9, Johnny Was. This is another brand, much like Farm Rio, that has a very colorful, this one has a little bit more of a boho look. Lots of florals, lots of bright colors with this. You're also gonna see a lot of embroidery. This is a top with that embroidery that I mentioned. I'm gonna zoom in on that so you can get a little bit better look. You're also gonna see embroidery on a lot of their tags. Now, not all of them have this, and not all of them are this design. But this is a peasant style top, and it sold full asking price $89. Some of their items that are selling for a little more money are their dresses as well as their kimonos, especially if they're silk. This one also has that embroidery, and there is the label. This sold $120 on best offer. Some other labels that you may run into that are Johnny Was lines are Bia as well as Pete and Greta, and those can sell equally as well, so do not pass those over. By the way, this is a Bia or Bia jacket. I'm never quite sure how to say that. There's the label there, but this was sold for $150. That's why I say do not overlook their other lines. Number 8 is the brand Pact. This is a sustainable brand that is known for their organic cotton basics as well as their ethical manufacturing practices. And because of those things, the demand for this brand has really grown in the past few years. And some fairly solid prices with this brand. There is what the label looks like, and this is a midi-length fit and flare dress that sold full asking price $38. Definitely a brand to keep your eye on into the coming months and years. Number 7, Free People. With this brand, I find that you really have to know which items to source and which items to leave behind. You're gonna want to go for trendier items. Check out the flare on those jeans. I absolutely love those. Styles like that are trending right now are going to do well. If they're older items or have even minor flaws, you're usually best off to leave them behind. This is a super cute jacket, and making use of aesthetic trends that fit with the item also really help with being able to get in front of the right audience that is looking for that trend. I call that high buyer intent shoppers, and using keywords that fit the item. For example, with this item, military, steampunk, and goth helps you be able to get more money for your items. This one went on best offer for $50. Number 6, Patagonia. That's probably no surprise that that brand makes this list. Even their more basic items can make a good flip. And their higher value items like jackets and coats can make a quick $100. There's the Patagonia tag. This high pile fleece jacket sold full asking price $100. Coming in at number 5, the women's brand Cezanne. This is definitely a higher end brand with higher end prices. Even more basic items like this sweater. It has some merino wool, some mohair, and it sold for $83 on best offer. But lots of really great selling prices with this brand. Number 4, Reformation. Another higher value brand, especially when it comes to things like dresses and coats. This is a velvet dress. I absolutely love this style. There is the Reformation tag. It does have just a little bit of silk, 18%. And this sold full asking price $169. I do want to point out some of the keywords that they're using, as well as at least one that they missed. Those keywords being the fabric, the velvet, silk, the material. Make sure that you use not only material keywords, but also fabric keywords like velvet. They've also got the neckline in here, that it is a sweetheart neckline, that it's a midi length dress. A couple of other keywords that they also could have added are peplum as well as tiered. It looks like they at least hit on tiered in their description. They also did a really good job of including other keywords in their listing. And you can do this on any platform, wherever you're listing. These can really help get your items in front of the right audience. Number 3, Quince. This is a direct-to-consumer brand, so don't feel bad if you haven't heard of this one before. There's lots of brands out there like this, by the way, that have a really great following. This is a shacket, a shirt jacket, a little bit of a boucle fabric going on there. There's the tag, and this sold for about $47. Okay, we are almost to the number 1 spot. So coming in at number 2 is Lululemon. And I'm actually gonna sneak in one more brand here that is a Lululemon brand. And that is their kids line Ivivva. Let's first talk about Lululemon. Now, some items can sell really well for a lot of money and they can sell quickly while other items sit. What's the difference? A lot of it has to do with the style and the age of the item, and also the size. Bigger sizes and newer styles typically will sell for more money and sell faster. By the way, their men's items of all sizes also do really well. Now, this is one that sold for a little bit outside of the normal price range that their typical items sell for. But it goes to show that even things like the print can really make a difference. This jacket sold for $225. If you're needing help with determining the age of the item as well as the style name, I've got you in the video that I will link to up here. Now, their kids items, the Ivivva line, usually sell for quite a bit less, but they can still make a decent flip. There is what the tag looks like as well as the logo, which is actually on the front of this jacket. This girl's jacket sold for $21 on best offer. For some reason, these last few listings are looking a little bit different, but it is showing that it was listed at $24 and the actual selling price was $21. All right, so are you ready for the brand that is coming in at number 1? Without further ado, the number 1 trending brand is Vuori. This has seemed to take the world by storm over the last year or two, and the resale prices on their items are pretty good. Almost all of their items are gonna have their logo or their name on a small patch or tag on the outside of the item. This is a women's hoodie that went on best offer for $80. Some really solid prices here for both their men's as well as their women's items. Well, there you have it. Which of these brands surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments and also let me know what is trending for you. And if you want to get ahead of the trends, make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications. I drop new videos every week on sourcing strategies, trending brands and keywords, and what is actually selling right now. Thanks for watching. Keep on listening to freedom, and I'll see you in the next video soon.